Italia, they're an event for the Epic Borg Armadas. There is an event for solo Armadas going on right now. There's actually two of them, I think. So the Recruit Hue event, in addition to giving you points for spending materials, also gives you points for spending directives. And then if you don't have the Infinitus skin, they're running an event for that. That triggers entirely off of spending Armada directives, regular and solos. So that one's going on there, and I think that's it. The ticket event also gives you points for spending Armada directives. One of them today. It's do helps or help your alliance or give or spend Armada directives also. So you can kind of overlap a little bit there. Olympus, you just realized because you've been saving for the last SLBs, you don't have a skill on Kirk. You're not getting the extra points for the Eclipse event. Oh, could have sworn somewhere that Borg Armadas didn't score. So the regular Borg cubes don't score. You can't run the regular, level 25, level 35 little cubes and get points for those. But you can get points for the other, the actual solo Armadas. The last event that they ran, you got a little bit of points for doing the regular cubes. There's an extra 90 ore. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to need I'm going to bring the Defiant. And I'm going to need the Cerritos as well. And hopefully they can all reach. I don't have to either summon or use Warp Cruise. Because I think I want to go after the big guy. Ooh. Like, I took this down okay. But that's an extra 120,000. And now I'm feeling nervous. Because this is my only epic. So maybe we're just going to play it safe and just do the 47, which I know I can get. I definitely don't even need all these buffs to do it. Yeah, we're just going to do the 47. I'm sure I'm going to kill the 47 relatively easy and be mad at myself for not going for the bigger one. But at the same time, if I fail, it's another week and a half again before I can try again. And I don't really feel like, dealing with that. So I'm going to take the guaranteed something instead of the high risk, high reward for something more. So, hey, good morning, Lord Hollywood. Georgie says play it safe. Lord Hollywood votes play it safe. Yeah. I'm glad you guys agree with me. Because if I can do this and at least get the first box, like there's more credits and stuff in here. There's also officer shards in here. 40k is all I need. And one of these things is going to give me 40k. So I'm guaranteed to get a box open. Plus then I'll get bonus loot from, 5 of 11. But I'm not going to bring the Defiant. I only have like 1 or 2 buffs for those, and I don't think I need the Defiant for this. Barkman says go for it. Now we're going to take the calculated risk because it's the first one, and I also want to be able to dive into the battle log a little bit, see what's going on, and then try and figure out just how much stronger the other one is likely to hit for. Because I mean, this one's 447, and you're talking about a DPR of about 12 million with piercing stats 600 to 750 compared against one of these things, which we are talking about a DPR of 17 million, so that's 5 million more damage per round, and these piercing stats are going from 850 to a million, and its defensive stats are significantly higher. And you're looking at rewards. I mean, yeah, the rewards are higher. The rewards are nearly double, actually over double. I'm going from 40k up to 94k. But I feel like I need a little bit more. A little bit more research, a little bit more officer upgrades. You're just taking the other side, so when I crush it, you can say I told you so. I have no doubt that I'm going to crush the whatever we're going to, the 47, 46, whatever it is. I have no doubt I'm going to crush that one. Very confident about that. It's just a matter of, because there's a huge gap between them, would I be able to overcome that gap? Carissa says, I get the same amount of loot doing a 41 rare with one ship with loot crew as I do a 45 with 3 ships, and you'd have to summon 2 of them to get all the way out there. And that is the advantage sometimes of, not punching up. You're punching up to hit the higher one to get the higher loot box, but if you stayed in your lane and hit the one you're supposed to hit, but used 2 loot crews or 3 loot crews, how much more, or in your case, just using 1 ship. If I just hit one of these lesser ones with just my pylum and not the other ships diluting the loot, so then I'm getting the maximum value out of, 5 of 11's captain's ability, I might come out ahead, and my repair bill is going to be a lot less too, probably. Which one did I want? Oh, wrong system. I think this was the 40. This one's 43. Yeah, so we're going to go hit the one in the back. Georgie does 2 loot crews on the 41s. I mean, that's what I was doing for a while with my Dominion Armadas. Instead of using like Picard, Beverly, and Eurydice on the Defiant, because I didn't have that ship yet, I was using like Geordi as captain on like the Augur or something like that, just to get some extra loot. And I wasn't really having trouble killing them, so. But now with the Defiant, I can actually go up 1 more, so I still come out slightly further ahead in terms of loot. Plus, I get more edicts, which is the other benefit. Okay, so we're heading back that way. What's the lowest solo Borg level? Yes, 35 is correct. The solo Armada start at 35s. You can buff him. Research makes it easy. The research does make it tremendously easy for the Borg ones. The 35,000 bonus damage to regular ships makes it incredibly less difficult. All right, so we can do the second Cerritos buff. So now we're just waiting on the Augur, and it's slow ass to get here. Only 21 more days to your free Defiant, Carissa. Should arrive right around Valentine's Day, if I believe is what I was figuring out there. So, a nice little present for you. And then, then starts the fun process of slowly leveling it up. We talked about this before, because the claims for the components are time locked. It's basically like 2 weeks to get it out. It's like 12 days or 13. It's 13 days to get it from tier 1 to tier 2, and then 17 days to go from tier 2 to tier 3. So 30 days, you have a tier 3 ship. So mid-March, just in time for St. Patrick's Day, you'll be upgrading your Defiant to tier 3. Alright, let's start this. Bam. 500. Just to play it safe, we'll throw on a cloak. What the hell? You can cloak too. Cloaking for everybody. You have 3 good ships for Armadas. Why do you need the Defiant? It's for the loot bonus. Alright, so here's our first epic Borg sphere. We're going right for the 47. Fire in the hole. That is a victory. And everybody easily lived. Of course we did. But as long as we're right here, let's go do one of these too. While I still have my buffs, we'll just go hit one of these real quick. See, we knew we were going to smash it, but because there's such a huge power difference between this one and the next one, I didn't want to risk it. I still end up with 64k plus whatever's in the chest, which is good for another 2,800, so 67. We can open a chest here in just a second. Crit damage, crit chance, we're hitting pretty hard. I mean, it's doing some pretty decent damage here. The fight only went 6 rounds. There's Lorca putting up hull breach, O'Brien giving extra shots. A whole bunch of criticals right off the bat by the Val door. Some of those extra shots from O'Brien are becoming criticals. There's a whole bunch more criticals, thanks to Bashir and Cisco. So the Valdor just laying in all the damage. And then the Pylam's like, oh yeah, don't leave me out. Now, did that not finish my ticket event? It did not count for my ticket event. Okay, so Exchange, Borg, Solo, and Doomsday Armadas do not score. So you should actually read these things. That's alright. I did need to start some regular Armadas anyway. Oh, we actually have a takeover going on? Yep, looks like we got a takeover going on. Vidar PvP event is so stupid. At least it's a quick PvP event instead of some of the other ones. And as far, compared to the other ship for ship PvP events, I think this one's actually pretty well balanced. It doesn't require a ridiculous amount of kills or being blown up. Like some of them require you to get killed like 30 or 40 times. It's like you get 3 points for a win and 1 point for a loss, and you need like 30 points or 40 points to finish it. So it's like, well, I can get 10 wins or 30 losses. At least if it's over here, it's closer to 18 losses, which is significantly less time. So, thank you guys. Notice that Mile seems to trigger all the time if the ship is buffed. Yeah, I think it's just random. I'd like to believe there's some extra something going on behind it, but you know, how many times can you flip the coin and have it come up heads or tails or whatever the case may be there? Yeah, the auger is a very good meat shield. Go get blown up by whales 20 times is a pretty bad PvP event. Well, it's system based, right? Check the uncommon. Did he proc again? Alright, let's look at the uncommon one. He did not go off in round 1. He did go off in round 2. He's got a 35% chance, so he should go off once every 3 rounds. He did not go off in round 3 or round 4. And he did go off at the start of round 5. So 35% chance once every 3 rounds. He went off in rounds 2 and 5. It's kind of about right. Yeah, or yours could also be a little higher too if yours is closer to 40 or, if he's a tier up. But let's do this real quick. Let's open this epic box. So we learned the other day that we're supposed to get 4 rare officers and 4 epic officers in every chest pull. Okay. That's a pretty good box. I got a 4 of 11. I got 5 of 11. I got 5 Hughes. I got 3 of him. Whatever combination I got of... So I must have gotten a 5 pull of 1 of 11 and 3 single pulls of 2 of 11. Or maybe it's a 1 and a 2, because I also did get a transporter pattern. I got a couple of transporter patterns. Okay, so yeah, so some combination of officers here turned into transporter patterns. That could be other rares that I just happen to have those officers already. Some XP. There's the Vidar loot, Exocomp, and there's some other rare stuff as well. So that's a pretty good box. I will happily take that box.